Everyone, Ben here. Today, I want to take you on a journey of what it's actually like to vibe code personalized software because you just need it. In my case, I don't even want to earn money with this particular software because it is actually for a product that I'm building that is an event experience. And with all events, you might know, you need to manage your participants. You might want to group them into teams. And I have a hackathon that I organized together with Startplatz. And we made a huge event out of this. This is now number 5. We have kind of iterated a few times. We understand what we need. And we have noticed, based on customer feedback, that they would find it really helpful if there was an easier way to join teams, to see in which order they are pitching later during the hackathon finale, how to get like the schedule, how to book mentors, all this kind of stuff could be easier. And of course, you can try to do this like us on a website, plus maybe like a Notion participant guide. But wouldn't it be even cooler if everyone would join little piece of software, log in, say, this is me, I'm looking for a team, I have this idea, and they could present them? I think so. And therefore, we are going to start a little mini-series in which we are going to build this. And we're going to build this with Base44. They're also the title sponsor of the hackathon, but they have no idea that I'm doing this with Base44. I've actually let my kids, my 8 and my 11-year-old girls, build their own apps with Base44. Well, I'm a bit more like on the Claude Code side of things, but I want to show you what you can do with this because I was super impressed with what my girls did at that age, and I want to see how far I can take it together with you. So let's explore building a hackathon participation tool with Base44 together. So let me show you the current website. This is the Startplatz version of this hackathon, and I'm showing you this one because I want to adopt this design, this color theme about the hackathon. So it's a 48-hour experience. It's happening once a quarter. The next one is for me right now in 38 days. You can buy tickets on here. We usually have like around 150 participants. Last time we had like 23 pitches, maybe even more next time. We have developed a great video for this. And now the next step is like building an even deeper experience by building a tool. Normally, this wouldn't be viable. This would be very, very hard to do for an event organizer. But I think this has become a breeze now. But I will show you if it's going to be hard, if it's going to be a breeze, everything is going to be openly shared here. So the first thing I did with the team at Startplatz is say like, hey, if we build like a little click dummy, what would this actually look like? And this is not a pretty click dummy or anything, but you can see that we want to later be able to see participants, maybe the mentors, volunteers that help us organize things, the core teams that form later the pitches. We might want to give them an ability to chat with each other, maybe not. And we want to have as admins kind of reports, how many teams are there, how many times are they going to pitch. We want to organize our profile. All of this is, of course, dummy data and just for demonstration purposes. This was just there, not to build the product that we will do here with Base44, but to kind of get an idea what could the goals are that we want, how could we solve them, what does it feel like? I don't always do such a click dummy, but Lucy from the team at Startplatz actually did this, and it really helped us communicate better. She also created like this little product description in a markdown file, and we might use it while we are prompting Base44 here. So this is what we are planning to do, an onboarding and a participation tool in the design of this website and all of this here in Base44. So let's talk a little bit about Base44. Base44, in contrast to something like Codex or Claude Code, will make it much easier for you to just focus on prompts and what you want to build without the technical layer around it. It will give you what you want in terms of technical sophistication, but it will hide a lot of the magic behind the scenes. So here are like a couple of apps that I've built in the past. Here's the one my daughter has built. And of course, it has little database, and it has a way to interact with an AI agent that even has voice input and output. But this all kind of happens behind the scenes. You can imagine that my daughter didn't know about how to configure an AI agent while she was prompting this, and it completely works. This character talks. Emma can talk to it. Crazy things work here. But let's start from the beginning. We are using the builder plan, which costs $50 a month. There's a cheaper one for $30, which doesn't have backend functionality, like no server, no authentication, no integrations. Fantastic for small prototypes and to test something. My daughter completely used that one for her app. But as soon as you want like more sophisticated database management, deeper integrations with other tools, you want to be on that builder plan. And all you need to do is go to the apps panel and start developing your thing here. There are a lot of templates that you can start with from the community or from Base44 if you want to start with a strong design or you want to go in a certain direction. But I don't want to do this. I want to describe what I want to build. I want to choose my own models. I prefer going for Opus 5 usually. It has good design taste, is smart, and it is what I also use on Claude Code. But depending on which price plan you're on, you might just be on auto mode, which is totally fine as well. So you can choose between building and planning, but we are getting there. I first want to get the design into the system. And for that, you can click here on the plus button and set up a design system. Think about this a little bit like Claude Design if you're familiar with that already. I haven't set up anything here, so let's do this as our first job here. So I want to import things from a website URL. And so let's feed it this URL here from Startplatz. And let's describe the brand. This is our hack base. Let's call this as a project name. We might rename this. Is a modern hackathon participant organization tool. All of this stuff we will describe later. We could add some design resources, PDFs, but let's see how far it's going based on the website. So now this is generating the design system based on that. So what am I expecting? I'm expecting it to understand, hey, we want to go for dark mode, dark theme with white typography and a purple accent color. These types of buttons with full colors and outlined buttons, and the rest we find out together. So we let this work, come back when it's done. So while this is taking a couple of minutes, let's go back and let's start thinking about what we want to build. And this is where plan mode comes in. It's giving the agent more time to figure out what do we want to do, actually here, what kind of technology do we want to use, what type of integrations, instead of just starting right away. So let's switch to plan mode, choose our Opus model, and once this is ready, I can just copy the prompt and use the design system that is being built. I'm going to use my own speech-text system called Whisperflow, but you can use the one from Base44 as well, and just use it to riff and describe what you want to build. Here we go. I want to build a hackathon participation tool where users who have bought tickets from us are able to register, to set up a profile, and later to propose or join hackathon teams. This hackathon is also divided into 4 tracks, which we need to know which team is associated with track and how the participants are associated. All of this information you can find on this hackathon landing page. So giving the agent not just information, but also a landing page is always helpful for it to get more details. We also want a smooth onboarding process for the users in which they are helpfully categorized in different key groups. For the hackathons, we usually have the following groups. First of all, the people that just have an idea, are alone, or have already formed their team. They don't want anyone else to join. They can just start. They should just describe what they want to do, whether or not they want to pitch. At the end, all of these decisions, they can change later, no problem. And then this is group one. The second group is they have an idea for a team and they are looking for participants. So they want to be the leader of a team that is building something. And like typical hackathon fashions, they're looking for people who can help them do it or just have a more fun social experience. Type 3 are the people who actually join the teams that somebody else has proposed. And then type 4 is usually, I don't want to commit yet. I'm just here for the experience and want to see what happens. Leave me alone. So you see how the speech-to-text system has generated structured text for that. And this is some key information that is not on any homepage or anywhere else. So what else do we want? We also want to have a proper participant management and team building system. We don't know what that looks like yet, and we need your help on that. We also have mentors at the hackathon, and we wanted to make it easy for participants to see which mentors are available at what times and how to connect with them. We also would like to show the event schedule and when there is going to be food and everything. You can take this from the website as well. We want to help them understand the different tracks that we offer that you can take from the website. And what I want to be a bit more precise about is how they can form a team, give themselves a team name, and a defined limited character short description of what the team is building and also the technology they are using to build it. This is often interesting. We want to be able to use this information later to kind of showcase, these are all of the teams here, and build a little presentation out of that. And also later when they pitch, we need to have a pitch system that clearly defines the order, and we admins need to be able to adjust the order. So this is just some of the basics what this app's supposed to do. Yeah, and we want to create a plan to understand what is the correct order in which to do it. But I also want to have the discussion about the technology. I would also like you to suggest to me how you want to build this, which web framework do you plan to use, and why. I would like to know what the authentication system is for sign in and sign up and how this works here. If you want to set up the database, I would like to be a little bit involved in how you structure the database so you can truly make this a scalable product later. All right. So this is just a little bit of additional taste of how I like to work with agents. You don't have to be that explicit. You can just build it step by step, but I like to do it this way. Now the design system is also ready. Before we start with the plan process, let's take a look at the design system first. I'm just saving this prompt in case it gets lost. So let's open Base44 in a second tab and take a look at the design systems. So it suggests the Startplatz logo as the initial logo. I'm fine with this, even though color-wise it's not a good match. It shows fonts that we shall see if we like it. It got the primary and accent color right. It got a lot of colors down here that I'm not too happy with. Modern, high energy, tech savvy, direct. Core values, innovation, efficient, collaborative community is okay. Corner radius, shadows, works for me. Let's see on the right-hand side, the preview. Primary, secondary call to action is good. Language switcher, it got ratings. I can work with this. Design system. Okay, fine. So now that the design system is working and the initial prompt is ready, you just press go. And this is going to use Opus 5 to build out this new app and probably ask me a couple of questions to get started. So let's give it a bit of time and then come back here. So one of the favorite things about plan mode is that it's actually clarifying things for me, giving me the opportunity to choose answers or just add my own full text answer. How should ticket verification work? You mentioned users who have bought a ticket. How do you want to gate this access? So That's a good question. Like, do I want to gate access of the registration? I don't want to have strict gating of this. Only people who have bought a ticket get a registration invitation mail that we can customize together. But I want to keep things uncomplicated here for now. But a good point that you're making implicitly is registration and purchasing of tickets is always bound to a specific event. And we are hosting these events once a quarter. That means we have multiple events that we need to be able to manage within this app. That is a very big piece of information that I didn't give it before. So this happens very often during these Q&A sessions. Next question. For the admin side, who runs this and what do they need to do beyond pitch management? So here, this is a multiple choice thing. We want to have a light admin panel, participant management, and an event dashboard. Admins should be able to edit most entities from membership profiles, teams, pitch orders, descriptions, schedules, everything. Next question. For mentors, how should their ability and booking work? So do we want to build in a booking service or do we want to just display the information? So I don't want to overcomplicate things. I want to start with just showing the information without the booking ability. Why? Because that's not the main feature. I might want to add this, but I start with display only. All right, after a couple of questions, we are finally ready to start building, but you can also review what it created in terms of a plan. And this is very recommended to at least skim it and see like, what is this building? Hack Hub is a multi-event hackathon participant platform, quarterly AI coding events, solves the operational chaos of running a 150-person hackathon. Good summary. So audiences and roles. We have participants, we have team leaders, we have admins, we have mentors. Okay, I like that. Let's see if we have any other audience types. Participants, team leaders, admins. I'm not sure mentors really need its own thing, but let's assume so. Then participant guides, solo, closed team, team lead seeking members, joiners, explorers. That is good. We might want to rename those a little bit, but that is in essence what I wanted. And the core user experience flows. Admin creates a new event, sets the date, invite user clicks, team leaders create a team, participants want to change. Yes, they can. Okay. That makes sense. Technical requirements. Platform, Base44. React, Tailwind, Base44 as backend. Authentication, built-in system with email, password, and magic link. I like that. Database schema is going to be, we have users, we have events, we have participants in events. We have teams, we have team memberships, so users being part of teams. We have mentors, we have scheduling items, event invitations that are being tracked, and a design system. Okay, so far so good. Let's start building and see what is happening. Now at this point, the whole UI shifts a little bit. Your chat moves to the left-hand side, as you can see here. And on the right-hand side, you can see a preview of the behind-the-scene dashboard. We approved the plan now, and now it's starting to roll. It's going to read the design system because we set one up before, and then it's going to build out the app. And we can kind of watch while this is happening. So let's give it a couple of minutes to see the first version, which is the goal of the first part of this series. Not to have it perfect, but to have something running that works to some sense. And then we will use the next parts to really fine-tune what we are seeing. Let's give Base44 a bit of time here to build the very first version. All right, we finally made it here. We got our working web app. So let's just scroll through it and read some of the comments here on the left-hand side where the model might need some input or wants to give us some information. So this design already looks a lot like what I expected from the website. This was our click dummy, but this was the website. And even this counter pretty much resembles with a few alignment issues here. And it welcomes me back with my first name. It allows me to edit my profile. I haven't chosen a track yet. It tells me the upcoming events or lets me click through the full schedule. Okay, nice. Here there's a couple of fictional teams that I can either propose or request to join. And there's the team lead. I guess this is all demo data yet. I like this. So team data. I can switch between the tracks. I like this a lot. And we have the track overview, the schedule. Even though I didn't ask it particularly to create this view, I like it a lot. Then we have the schedule. I'm curious to see how this turns out on mobile. Food is highlighted. That is always important. Then mentors are listed. Then we have the pitches. There we need to explain to it which pitch is, but this is already very helpful. Then I can manage my profile. Here's my name, headline. Maybe I want to split first and last name, for example. A LinkedIn and GitHub URL, guilds, that's interesting. And then there's the admin area. Here's a live dashboard with a participant mix, with the groups. By tracks. This is cool. This is better than I expected. Our example people are in here. Teams, the pitch order that I can change. I can delete stuff in the program. I can edit it. Amazing. Here are the mentor profiles, the addition. Let's see, how much can I edit the participants? I can check them in. I can change their team, pitch order, mentors, additions. And here are the different hackathon additions. What can I change about this? Start and end dates. It's pretty cool. Now I can manage invites here, ticket buyers. I can invite them, send them a mail. We have to check if this is working. But that is pretty awesome. That is really impressive. So after you get your first impressions, so read the final comments. It informs me about 3 questions that I had about the framework. It explains that it's using React and Tailwind in the Base44 platform, and that this can all publish later to iOS and Android. For authentication, it uses the Base44 platform with email and password, plus an optional Google sign-in and one-time code. The database, it decided one permanent profile and has separate participation records, so participants stay on, so recurring participants don't have to sign up again, which I like a lot, because it's aware that we are doing another one at the end of the year. What else we can discover here? We can go to our dashboard. The dashboard is kind of just the admin settings area for this. So for example, we want to call this Hackbase. Okay. Then we actually had a logo generated here that we want to upload. That is not the Startplatz logo. We want this to be a bit independent. We want this to be based on the Hackbase design, but we can do this later. We can assign different users to this. This is not just me. You can see the events. So let's take a look at the user profiles. It just has demo data right now. As soon as people register, they will show up in here. Here are the teams, schedule items, mentors, event participations, invites, and we will have to see if all of this checks out. So later we can connect a domain to this. I'm still looking for a great domain name, but we shall find out. We can add additional connections here, do security checks, even look at the code if we like to, connect agents to it. That might be an interesting idea to actually have something like a team matchmaker bot. Those are actually quite nice ideas that I can just send to the chat, and then this is being built. Here are some automations I could trigger, logs, APIs, in case I maybe want to connect to this one here. And then the general settings, social image, visibility, etc. But this looks promising. So if I'm happy with this, publishing this and sharing it with other people is as simple as clicking publish. You can run a security scan first. I want to do that with you next time. But if you click here on publish, you are up and running. Configuring it as a mobile app takes a bit more time, but you simply get a link that you can share even with people who are not here paying members in your Base44 environment. All right. But I think step 1 is achieved. We got a working version. A lot of things we still have to think about. Is this exactly the way I wanted it to be? And everything I want to edit. But let's call it session 1 and continue tomorrow. See you then. Bye.